What's going on, guys? It's Kyle here, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my top 10 movies of all time. This is my personal list of my personal top 10 favorite movies of all time, and I happen to own all 10. Isn't that just crazy? So some of these movies can comprise of probably like action movies, some of them are comedies. I think they're comedies. It's pretty much a whole variety, but eventually it gets into like a certain thing, but then eventually it's crazy. So anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, let's get on with the list. So coming up at number 10 is, in my personal opinion, David Fincher's best work, and probably one of the most insane movies. It's crazy. Number 10 is Fight Club. This is the 25th anniversary edition, or no, not the 25th. It's been that long. This is the 10th anniversary edition, and there's so much to love about this movie. Is it from the acting of Edward Norton or the acting from Brad Pitt? I can't decide. There's that. There's the story, which is unique and different. There's the special effects when special effects are used. They use them very sparingly, but when they are used, they're freaking crazy. Just when you look deeper into this movie, it gets even crazier because there's definitely a deeper meaning to this movie. When you look that up, it makes it even crazier. So the basic plot summary, I'd say, is this guy played by Edward Norton. He has no name in the movie. They just call him the narrator, and he has insomnia. And eventually, he goes on this plane and he meets this guy named Tyler Durden, played by Brad Pitt. And what starts from there is a beautiful friendship over the years, and eventually it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier on who this guy really is. And there's a huge twist in this movie, which I'm not going to spoil it, but you should have already seen this. It's been out since like 99, so you've probably already seen it by now. But it has one of the craziest twists in a movie I've ever seen in my entire life. You'll never expect it coming. I mean, unless you've already looked it up or you've seen it already. But if you have no clue what this is, I recommend it because it's a great watch. It's a little long, but if you can stand that, then it's fine. There's really no drag point. It keeps me interested every time. And I've seen this about like 10 or 15 times now. Whenever it's on TV, I watch it. And sometimes within a great while, I'll pop this in and watch it. But that's very rarely. So coming up at number 9 is the movie that won Leonardo DiCaprio his Oscar, and probably one of the most beautiful movies ever made and to look at on a big screen, and that is The Revenant. I saw this in the theaters, and this is really cool because this is a movie that is meant to be experienced in a theater when it's dark, the sound is loud, the picture is big, the picture is great looking, and it adds to the intensity. From the acting from Leonardo DiCaprio, and just the overall look of the film, like I said, it's the most beautiful film ever made because of the cinematography and the landscapes, and everything was used with what was it called, natural lighting, so everything looks real and like gritty. So I guess the plot summary to this is basically this guy, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, is a pioneer. This is set back in like the 1800s, back in the pioneer stage, and this is a group that get raided. In the beginning of the movie, they get raided, and then they have to move camp. But there's this guy in that tribe called, I don't forget what his name was, but he's played by Tom Hardy right there. That's him right there. He's played by Tom Hardy, and he's an absolutely fantastic villain. Really, you believe him the whole time that he's just a dick to everybody. Like, he's a complete asshole to everybody in that group. And eventually, I can't really say this is a spoiler or not, because I guess technically it is, but so yeah, spoilers are ahead for this, but basically what happens is Leonardo DiCaprio gets attacked by a bear, and when I talk about attack, he gets demolished by a grizzly bear, and he's left like basically immobile and basically paraplegic, but not really, because eventually he does walk again, and then he gets left behind by his group, but by this one guy, the villain right here, played by Tom Hardy. He leaves him for dead, and it's just Leonardo DiCaprio going out and getting his revenge and redemption against this asshole of a guy that just left him to die. But yeah, guys, it's a really awesome movie. I recommend it. I would say it's definitely a little bit too long. It's 2.5 hours long, so it's a bit of a watch, but every minute of this movie is gratifying and unique and just intense. Coming up at number 8 is a movie that I recently just watched this year, and it's been out for I don't know how long, because I recently just got the Quentin Tarantino collection. If you don't believe me, well, I already did an unboxing of it, but like, this thing, and I finally watched this movie, and that is Pulp Fiction. This is a very unique movie. Back in the day, it was probably like one of the most unique movies of all time, and it's never been done before. And yeah, I agree with that. It hasn't been done before, but it still holds up, I think. Plot summary: you can't really explain the plot. There's multiple plots going on, but eventually they intertwine into each other, and they're all set in the same universe. Yeah, it's just these guys, these people have their own stories going on. One has like two mob hitmen played by John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson, which Samuel L. Jackson is amazing. It's another story with Uma Thurman, and she's just a girl that likes heroin. And then there's another story with Bruce Willis. And it's too many stories to talk about. You just gotta watch the movie and enjoy it for yourself. Great acting, great line delivery. The cinematography is fantastic. Great one takes. I mean, it's a one take is like a signature in Tarantino's films, but there's a really great one take in this. When the music and just the overall story is so like interesting, and like you really put yourself in the movie, because it's like it's a universe that could be in real life. Because I mean, it's not too over the top. Besides, the violence is a little over the top, but the violence is not too over the top where it's like, okay, this is definitely like a cartoon universe, like this could never happen. But no, this is definitely a universe that could definitely happen in real life. So yeah, amazing movie. That's why it's at my number 8 spot. Number 7 is from the master himself, Stanley Kubrick. I actually have 3 of his films in here. Can you guess which one is my number 7 pick? I'll let you choose. Okay, time's up. My number 7 pick is Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. This is probably one of the most disturbing movies ever made, but that's why it's number 7, because I love disturbing movies. I love unique and different, and movies that like to go outside the box. Man, does this movie go outside the box. This is, like I said, one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen. I watched it one late night, and it was unique. I think it was like 14 or 15 when I first saw this movie. It's been out since like 1977, or no, 1971. So it's a very old movie, but it holds up really well because it is set in the future. Yeah, basic plot summary is this guy, Alex, played by Malcolm McDowell, which he is amazing in this movie. I don't really watch too much of his movies, but this is the only one movie I'll probably see of him. This guy named Alex, he has a pack of droogs. They call themselves droogs. I don't know why they do that, but it's set in it's a British movie, so like that's probably why they say droogs. But it's a band of people that just walk around at night and just terrorize the city and just go and do some bad stuff, whether it be rape, violence, making fun of people. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever they do, whatever they want to do, they do. And I know when I say rape, it sounds like it's a very sad movie. It is a very sad movie because the future that it's in is very disturbing, and we never want it to be like that because, well, that'd be scary. Yeah, and then eventually, I guess there's a spoiler coming up, eventually his group gets tired of him being all bossy and shit, so one day they knock him out with a milk bottle, and then he gets sent to prison, which then he's in prison, and they have a program that he can go through which will get him out of jail quicker. But the program, I won't spoil this part, the program is nothing you'll ever expect. It's very disturbing, and the after effect is even more disturbing. It's a great movie about irony, is that was it a word? I don't know. It's a very ironic movie, I guess you could say, and it's very gratifying in the end because this guy gets what he deserves, and you'll see why if you ever see this movie. It's fantastic. It was on Netflix at one point. I think it took it off, but if you can find a way to watch this movie, I recommend it. It's really, really good. 6 is my personal favorite Tarantino film. And this is just I watch this every time it comes on. I don't care if it's in the middle or the end. I watch it anyways because every second of this movie is amazing. And that is Django Unchained. This is Jamie Foxx's best performance by far, and also goes along with Christoph Waltz. And not Leonardo DiCaprio's best performance, but he does a really good job in this movie. And there's actually a scene, spoiler ahead, but there's actually a scene where he stabs himself accidentally with a glass bottle or a glass shot glass, and you can see him bleeding. That was improvisation after that, because he actually hurt himself and he went along with the scene as he was bleeding. Like that's acting. Also got Kerry Washington and Samuel L. Jackson, so he's in this one too. This is just a dude that was actually a slave, but then this guy, a dentist, saves him, and then they go on this quest of just being badasses. They go to different towns and cities and just screw people up, and it's awesome. And the violence, yes, is very, very over the top. Blood squirting everywhere, it looks like ketchup half the time. Really, it's a fun movie. Even though it's about slavery at the beginning, besides the slavery part, it is super fun. One of the most fun movies I've ever seen because it's so energetic and there's just so much action. It's great. So number 5, this is my top 5 now, guys. Number 5 is a movie that came out last year, which is crazy. That movie from last year. I'm going to tell you right now, last year was a great year for movies, but this one made it into my top 5, and that is Logan. This is Hugh Jackman's final performance as Logan or Wolverine, and really does this show from his acting and from everybody in this movie that acts, but he really steals the show. He really puts his heart and soul into this final performance of Wolverine, and I guess it's kind of a spoiler because he does die in the end. How do you not know this by now? It was like the biggest spoiler from last year, so you already know what he dies. From the cinematography and the music is just pulse pounding, and the music is great. The visual effects, which a lot of the effects in this movie were practical, so that's really cool, because if you don't know what practical means, it means like basically everything was real. They didn't use special or computer effects to make the effects work. They actually used like real cars and flipped cars over. It's crazy. Plot summary, it's just Logan going around, and there's this girl right here that they think is his daughter, and she has the same powers as Wolverine, which she's badass in this movie. Like, she just chopping up people, and it's crazy. So is Wolverine. He's pretty badass as well. And this is largely thankful to Deadpool, because if Deadpool hadn't made so much money at the box office, this would have never been made. And speaking of Deadpool, nice segue, right? Number 4 is Deadpool. I have the Steelbook right here. I know they released a new Steelbook on 4K, but I don't have 4K, so there's no point in getting 4K if I don't have this. Deadpool is fantastic. From the comedy, oh my god, the comedy. This is probably one of the. It's in my top 10 comedies actually, and it being a Marvel movie, it did not give a shit what they did. It didn't matter what they said it, and they were proud of it. And this also features Ryan Reynolds. This is Ryan Reynolds, just his best performance, and the performance he was born to play. I don't think anybody else on this planet Earth could do a better job of doing Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds tried to get this movie, I think, made like for 10 years, I'm pretty sure it was. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it was like 10 years. But it really shows, because it's him. He wanted this to be made, so he put his heart and soul into his performance, man. Like, you can really see it. Also, the violence is great. Violence is always great. The violence in this movie really shows, because it's so well choreographed, and you can see the blood squirts and everything. It's freaking amazing, man. Number 3 is a movie that almost made it to my number 2 spot. Very close. I'd say like a pube hair away from making this number 2. That's disgusting. Number 3, guys, is The Dark Knight Rises. A really great conclusion to the trilogy, created by Christopher Nolan, of course. Like I said, this was almost better than number 2. Can you guess number 2 yet? I don't think you can. You probably can. Dark Knight Rises, there's really nothing to say much about it. I mean, besides Tom Hardy's fantastic performance as Bane. I mean, Jesus Christ, he's freaking amazing in this movie. Of course, Christian Bale always does a great, Bruce Wayne / Batman performance. And a lot of practical effects, of course, but, Christopher Nolan likes doing the practical effects, so, it's kind of a staple in his movies now. Can't really say much about this movie, just watch it, it's great. You have to watch the first 2, obviously, before you see this one, but I recommend this a lot. And number 2 is arguably one of the best movies ever made, like, period, not even a superhero movie, just of all time. And that is The Dark Knight. Oh my god. This movie is great for so many reasons. One, Christopher Nolan, his best film, in my opinion. Number 2, Heath Ledger's best performance of all time before he died, unfortunately. I can't believe he died before he got to accept his Best Actor award, Best Supporting Actor award for the Oscar. That's crazy, man. That's so sad that he had to die so young. Him and Ryan Reynolds both put their heart and soul. He puts his heart and soul into his performance. From his laugh to like his mannerisms. He really studied the Joker to understand how to perform this guy and make him as real as possible. Of course, there's a lot of practical effects, but that's Christopher Nolan. We all know that. The music by Hans Zimmer is amazing. I'm gonna stop. And also, Christian Bale, is, always great. He's always a great, performance to watch. But just, I don't know, man. There's something about this movie is just great. I've only watched it 3 times, so I need to watch it more. The opening scene of this movie is by far one of the best opening scenes any movie I've ever seen. Intense, unexpected. You never know what's gonna happen next. But so many great things about this movie. I can't talk about it too much though. Great movie. And number 1 is a movie which came out last year as well. And this is the most insane part. This movie came out last year. And it's my number 1 favorite movie of all time. If you know me personally in real life, you'll know this is my favorite movie. But if you don't, then you probably wouldn't know. Number 1 is Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. This, in my opinion, is a perfect movie. I'm gonna count the things off. I'm not gonna even give a full review. You need to watch the movie. I'm not even gonna give you the plot summary. It's just a guy. He's a driver, and his name is Baby. That's all you need to know. So I'm gonna list off the things. You got the action is great. You got Ansel Elgort being the best baby driver you can possibly be. You got the romance. You got the music. You got Kevin Spacey, even though, of course, he kind of did something bad last year. You got Jamie Foxx, which he actually does surprisingly good in this role. You got Jon Hamm. Jon Hamm's amazing. A little over the top, I guess, but he's Jon Hamm. Get the music. I don't think I mentioned this already. I probably have. But the music literally drives the movie, guys. Because every scene in this movie is literally... I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. Just watch this movie. It is by far the most thrilling, fun, energetic experience you'll ever have watching a movie. I can't say anything much more about it. It's great. It's amazing. Don't throw it up! But yeah, guys, that is my top 10 movies of all time. If you did enjoy it, as always, remember to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below what you enjoyed, and comment down below if any of these movies are in your top 10 favorite movies of all time. And as always, remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video from me. Alright, guys, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. As always, have a great day, and peace out.